Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to give you guys my haul for everything I picked up in July. It's quite a bit, including Criterion Collection. Of course, I bought more A24, Blu-ray, 4K, just all of it. Unfortunately, this year, this month, I looked through what I purchased, and there were no steelbooks, so I don't have a steelbook review for you guys, so it kind of sucks. If I thought about that, I probably would have found one to buy, but alas, there is not a steelbook for this video, so we will have to push through without it. So I'm just going to start with the DVDs because there's only two of them. And the first one, it really isn't taken with much seriousness, but I thought it was kind of cool just because I'm a nostalgic Star Wars fan. I watched like so many of the projects. I've seen pretty much most of them anyway. I think there's only like a couple projects I haven't seen. So irregardless, when it comes to Lego Star Wars, back when Disney bought Star Wars, they put out some shorts. Well, they're a little bit longer than shorts, but they're kind of like, I guess you can just consider them animated episodes. These were pretty fun. I know they did make a TV series, but these were supposed to be sort of individual movies, just 25 to 30 minute movies. So these were a lot of fun. These were goofy. You don't take these with much seriousness at all, and it's just a fun time, just a dumb fun time. So this is that. And then the next DVD I purchased, which is one that I was really searching for, and it was really hard to find, but I finally did come across it, so of course I had to pick it up, is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. This is the unrated director's cut. So I'm unfamiliar with the differences. I think I know the differences, but I'm not sure. But this was the last one that he needed to buy. So having this one, I now have every Halloween movie they have made. So now I can sort of dive back into that franchise. After watching the fifth, I sort of fell off of sort of continuing the franchise because I was trying to review each and every one of them as I was watching them. And I don't know, I guess I just sort of stalled myself watching the rest of them until I had them all. So now I have them all, so now I'm going to continue that again because I did have fun reviewing that. It was a mostly consistent franchise, irregardless of some of the weaker spots in parts of the first five. But yeah, I look forward to continuing the franchise and ultimately reviewing this one and reviewing the new ones. And so I'm just going to get back into it, guys. So that is a DVD portion for this video. So now let's get into the Blu-rays. So the first one is one I technically already have, but the movie trading company had a sort of sale. I think it was like buy two get one, something like that. This one was, I think, like $4. And this one I already had, but this is a different artwork on it. And it's the, you can see on the bottom, includes the extended cut, which I have not seen the extended cut. I don't know what the difference is, but this was a very, very affordable purchase. I did like the movie. Now I have the extended cut, so probably check that out eventually. So here's this one. Definitely an emotional one. I wouldn't recommend it if you're in a sad mood, because this will make you sadder. Now we have Chappie. I don't really know a lot about this one at all. This was another one that I purchased when it was, part of that sale, just because I was trying not to spend too much money on movies this month, and then I ended up buying a whole bunch. So anyway, so now I have this one. I like Hugh Jackman. Sigourney Weaver's pretty good. Dev Patel. So yeah, I'm gonna sort of I don't know what to expect with this one, but I am excited. All I know is what you can read on the back of the box. So yeah, I'm excited. And then this one is one because I do want to see more of Margot Robbie's movies and Sebastian Stan. So I didn't know Sebastian Stan was in this. Found this is another one that was on sale as well. And I forget the actor's name. I wish I could remember. I'm going to check. I'm going to give it like a few seconds to see if I can find his name on the back of the box. And I can't, and that is unfortunate. But I'm going to see if I can show you guys that guy in blue. I believe it's him. He was in Cobra Kai. He was also in the new Fantastic Four First Steps. He's been in several projects. He's a really funny actor, so he's in this as well. So I'm probably going to watch this pretty soon. This isn't a priority watch for me, but I am going to get around to it eventually. And then this one was just because I already have the other two, and I might as well see the third. So I have The Hangover Part 3. I honestly haven't heard great things about this one, but the first two were pretty funny. Obviously, the first one was better by a long shot, and like I said, I haven't heard great things about this one at all. But you know, I'm gonna check it out and see if I get if there are still some funny moments. If I get some good laughs out of this, then it's worth it. That's really all I want from a comedy movie. Is it just as long as it's funny to some extent, it's worth it. So I'm gonna check this out eventually. We have a few more Blu-rays, and then we move on to the 4K section of the segment. We have Cold Pursuit. This one I have seen, or I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen multiple trailers for it. I've read the scripts for it. I know it has sort of that ugly residue from the sticker. But, yeah, I am looking forward to seeing this one. I do love Liam Neeson. He's a great actor. He's a great action star. And I just saw him in the new Naked Gun. He was hilarious. I know he's made some comments that he doesn't want to really do action movies forever. He is getting, in his own words, a little old, but I think he can still pull it off. And Naked Gun is any indication. He can still pull off those kinds of roles without having to have just as much action sequences as, say, for example, John Wick. So I hope Liam Neeson continues to do movies. He's a great actor, and his movies are just super fun. So I'm looking forward to diving into this one as well. And now we have, this is one I saw in theaters, these next three actually. We have The Amateur. I feel like this one kind of fell off of people's radar just because I feel like there wasn't a lot of advertisement for it. I remember going to theater before this movie came out, and I saw the trailer once or twice, and that was about it. So it just felt like the marketing team didn't really have a lot of effort into marketing this one, but I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was a neat story. Basically, it's this guy where his wife is killed, and he works for the government, but it turns out the government sort of covered it up. So he's trying to uncover the truth himself using his own skills and his own knowledge, even though he isn't, this John Wick style shooter, basically, because he's made fun of in the movie for not having enough skills to find out the truth himself. So he sort of uses his own wits and his own knowledge to sort of go on a one-man mission to uncover the truth. That's the most spoiler-free, generic description I can give for this movie, because this plot does have a couple different layers to it, which made it very interesting. So yeah, I like this one a lot. I thought it was pretty good. I think this one definitely ended up under people's radars, but I would check it out if you have the chance. And now this one, we have A Hell of a Summer. I believe when I logged this onto Letterboxd, because I am one of those guys, it showed this movie wasn't a 2025 movie, so I'm assuming it was shown at a film festival. I guess I want to say it was 2023, I think, but regardless, I count it as a 2025 movie because that's the year it was in theaters. That's why I saw it. This was funny. It's another movie by, yep, it is Neon. So this one's funny. This one is another one of those that you can't treat it too seriously. This isn't like some top-notch storytelling kind of slasher. This is just sort of just a nostalgic campy slasher. So I did like it. Were there some dumb parts? Yeah, of course, but it was still fun. So I thought they had a fun cast. They had this had some fun with it. This is one of those movies where they didn't treat themselves too seriously, so you can just sort of enjoy it for what it's trying to be instead of something else. So yeah, I would check it out if you have the chance for this one as well as Amateur. And then the last one, I don't know what to say. So we have Final Destination Bloodlines. I debated buying this one in 4K. However, they haven't made any of the others in 4K yet, so I felt like I could just, I don't know. I just purchased a Blu-ray because I have the rest of them in Blu-ray. I would buy a Final Destination set if they made them in 4K, or at least if they re-released the first one or even the first two. I may end up going back in the 4K for this eventually, just because I'm an idiot, but I have it in Blu-ray. This one was fun. It was definitely the better one, one of the better movies in the franchise. I just still really like the first. The second I thought was pretty solid, and the fifth I did enjoy quite a bit. This one I think was fine. It was definitely, it revved up the kills. How people died is definitely, it gets points for creativity. It definitely wasn't a copy of the other ones as far as how people died. They didn't just copy anything. So that was, it was interesting. I would just see it for yourself. I really struggle. I can't say I dislike the movie. I can't say I really love it. I'm just sort of neutral when it comes to this one. But for a first watch, I did enjoy it. I just don't know how much rewatchability this one has. But I guess I'm just going to have to see it again, find that out for myself. And then this one I did buy on 4K, which in hindsight I don't know why, but it's expensive 4K, so finding it on sale was, I just picked it up. We have Until Dawn, because Sony just puts out legendary bangers, one after another. So for Until Dawn, I was seeing on Amazon that the 4K was going for like $50 at least. People were reselling it. We're selling it for like 60. So when I found this for 35, I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna get it now because I didn't know if I really needed to have this right now. But I figured this would just be harder to find later. Just because I have heard, which there are other YouTubers that explain it a lot better, that there is a partnership, even though this isn't Disney. There is a partnership between Disney and Sony where Sony's making their physical discs, as far as I'm aware. However, it turns out that's why Disney releases are so expensive, especially steelbooks. And it turns out it's sort of the same way with Sony, because Disney aside, Craven, Venom, The Last Dance, just individual Sony films were going for $50, like this one on Amazon for 50. So basically what I'm saying is if you find a Sony movie you really want and it's less than even $40, I would snag it. I did. That's my best recommendation if you are someone who wants to collect these Sony movies. So yeah, this one, it wasn't all that great. I didn't play the video game, but I knew enough about it to sort of follow along enough, kind of, in this movie, even though it didn't really follow the game at all. So I was just struggled to really try to grasp and understand what was going on during the movie. It was a fun first watch. I just don't know how much rewatchability this one really has. So like Final Destination Bloodlines, I'll just end up having to see it again, see if it does hold up again. So, which something I've been doing lately. There's some movies that you just kind of have to see again to get a second opinion. I don't know, it's just me. So now we move on to the 4K segment of this video. I think there's several. So I'm going to start off with a comedy. We have South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. So I bought this one. I saw this at a friend's house. This was freaking hilarious. I was laughing the entire time. I mean, I haven't seen the entirety of South Park. I was one of those guys that started watching South Park and I didn't watch the series in order. I was just sort of skimming through, trying to find the ones I heard were some of the better ones or some of the funniest ones. So I don't think I've seen a whole season, but I've seen probably a couple seasons worth of episodes. But I watched this. This one was hilarious. And this one went on sale for it was like close to $10. It was like $12, $13 when I bought it. So for a 4K copy of a movie that the 4K release is fairly new, I snagged it. So yeah, I'm glad I have this one. Plus, it's always great to build your comedy section in your own collection. That's just something I've been trying to do lately because I've had such a blind spot for good comedies for so long. So anytime I can come across a good comedy for a fair price, I'm going to pick it up. And then if I haven't seen it before, I'm definitely going to make that a priority to see it. So yep, have another comedy now. I'm so glad. Now this is another one that I think fell under people's radar. This one, I believe a lot of the reviews were positive. It just didn't make much money at all. And that is Mickey 17. This is, I believe, considered a flop just because of how much money it made. But the people I personally know who saw it loved it. So I saw it, I loved it. I went to the theater for this one. And when I went to the theater, I mean, it wasn't a packed theater, but there were a lot of people there to see it. So, I don't know why this really flopped. It was highly marketed. Before this came out, every time you went to the theater, you would see a trailer for Mickey 17. So I really like this one. There is a steelbook for it. I think it is kind of pricey though, but there's of course the steelbook, the 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD. So you have multiple options if you want to pick up just a copy of this movie. But I would check it out. It's basically it sort of tangles with the idea of what humanity really means to individuals. Because as far as that concept is concerned, you get multiple different points of views. Not just from Robert Pattinson's multiple characters in the movie, but amongst the other characters as well. You see different people, they'll value life differently, and you see how it's compared to others. It was just a really neat concept. I love that kind of stuff, and those sort of concepts were heavily featured in this movie, so I thought this one was great. So, of the ones I've mentioned for this video that went under the radar, this would be my top pick of the ones that went under the radar. This one I highly enjoyed. I loved the ending. It was just, I had a positive, very, very highly positive experience watching this movie. So check it out, guys. This one is Working Man, or A Working Man. This is a Jason Statham action movie. This is, I think, the same people that did The Beekeeper, which I have not seen. I could be wrong about that, but I believe so. So this was, regardless, this was a fun movie. It's basically a modern Taken, I guess, which isn't a bad thing. This didn't feel like a copy of it. It just reminds you of it. But this was still fun. It's basically, in Taken, you know, you have Liam Neeson just trying to get his daughter back, so it's come from like a parental point of view, basically. In this movie, it comes with a, yeah, I just want to kill scumbags point of view. You know, because he works with this family whose daughter ends up being kidnapped, so he's basically practically hired by them, go get her back. And so, you know, this was a fun movie. It was definitely had a couple different layers to it, which were nice. And David Harbour plays a small role in this. I thought his acting was pretty good, even for the minimal screen time he had. But yeah, this one's fun. This is a good movie. I would say this one's definitely fun. It's, you know, the kidnapping theme's maybe a heavy theme, but generally there really isn't anything that's over the top that makes it a not a friendly or family friendly movie. So if you have families who just love Jason Statham action movies, this is a great pick. I loved it. Now we have Novocaine. This one was hilarious. I love Jack Quaid. He's been doing such a great job with pretty much all his roles. This is a steelbook I did want, but I just didn't. I just ended up choosing to get this option instead. But got it in 4K. It's got over 35 minutes of bonus content, so you know you got that in here as well. This was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I like the cast. And then you have Jack Nicholson's son, who plays in this as well. So, which he was in Smile 2 not long ago. So, yeah. This is a lot of fun. I don't really know what else to say about it because I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. It just basically leans into the painful side, because the character can't feel pain. A lot of the action is sort of shot in a way where the character is just fine, but it's almost, I feel like they were going for it's hard to look at kind of gross action, satisfying way. So yeah, I love this one. Love Jack Quaid. I'm gonna continue to see his movies, especially if he continues doing action movies like this. So I had a good time seeing this. And then our last 4K movie is one I had to have. We have Sinners. This one was one of the coolest movies I've seen this year. It's pretty good. The trailers, the tone of the movie itself and what was featured in the trailers, I thought it was sort of sidelined until really toward the end. But I don't think that made the movie bad. I think it just made it more interesting. This movie spent a lot more time than most developing the characters. The action was definitely heavily sidelined until sort of the final act. But it's because they spent so much time developing the characters that I think it created and built more stakes for the characters that we see going toward the finale of this movie. So that was really well done. Obviously, the director does a great job, and Michael B. Jordan he did really well in this one. So, you know, like Mickey 17, this is another movie where he's playing two characters, and which has sort of happened several times recently, which I just find kind of interesting because I did like both these movies, and I don't think they came out too far apart from each other. But yeah, this one's really great. If you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. And for the next part of this video, I got some Criterion movies because of course they were on sale during July, so I had to pick some up. I don't really know much of really anything about these, so I'm just going to showcase them, and you guys can tell me in the comments which one should be priority over the others. So we have Night of the Living Dead. This one I believe this is a Blu-ray edition. This one I am excited to check out just because I've heard this sort of kind of was a staple for the horror community. So I'm excited to see it. It is in black and white. If that's not your thing, then maybe this one isn't for you, but it's something that I could sort of it's easy for me to get past. So I'm excited to check this one out and see how it is. This isn't a long one either. I think it's 96 minutes. So this is not a difficult watch at all. And then we have Risky Business. This is another one. I believe I picked up this is the Blu-ray edition as well. There's a 4K in here somewhere. This is the Blu-ray edition, so I don't know much about this at all other than it's a classic that I haven't seen, which I know I need to see more classics like this one. So this one is definitely high up on my watch list because it's one I do want to see very soon. So we have this one as well. And then we have Uncut Gems, which is always interesting when you take a sort of a comedy actor and they have a really serious role, which makes sense given its, I think I'm pointing to the right thing here. It's A24. A24 just seems to do that. There's the new movie coming out. I think it's called The Smashing Machine. It's with Dwayne Johnson, where he plays, he's given this really serious role, and he just has sort of done dumb action comedy roles lately. So I'm excited to see him in that movie. I'm excited to see Adam Sandler in this movie. And so yeah, this one's pretty much high on my priority list as well. This one is the 4K format, so obviously they're $25 for 4Ks when they're on sale, so not a bad price at all. So I picked this one up as well. We also have Dazed and Confused. This one's cool just because of the copy. This is another one I don't really know a whole lot about, but I find going into movies blind is sometimes a good thing. So as we take this out, it's sort of, I don't know, I think it's cool. I love the design that goes into the packaging for A20, or not A24, for Criterion. Just because stuff like this is just really, really neat. I love individual packaging, and there's, I believe, like art cards in here as well. Got this book, it's got art cards. That's the one thing that Criterion and A24 do, is a sort of, I guess the best way I can describe it is it rewards collectors for collecting physical media, which, I feel like this one just won't go in. Alright, it's back in. So, yeah, I feel like just rewarding collectors for collecting physical media is something that a lot more companies should be doing. I love picking up 4Ks like Sinners and Working Man and Novocaine, but just having a standard copy is cool and all, but sometimes I feel like there are, maybe guys are some of them, for me, this is the case where I struggle to find the reason to buy new 4Ks at full price when there's like nothing included with the purchase. So that's why I've been leaning a lot more toward A24. If there's movies I'm going to pre-order, I usually try not to unless it's some really cool steelbook. When it comes to pre-orders, it's mostly going to be A24 that I pre-order, just because I know I'm going to get extras that come in the box that the disc is in. So speaking of A24, that is what's next for the segment. So I have this movie, 8th Grade. I know a little bit about it. I haven't seen it. And this one I've heard was a really difficult copy to find. So this was a little pricier than the average used Blu-ray at a movie store. But this is one I wanted to have because I wanted to check it out. And having a rare copy is cool. But I also try to watch rare copies as well. So I don't know how high up of a priority this movie is for me. But when I go through A24 movies every now and then, I sort of just do a deep dive into all of them. So yeah, next time I watch another A24 movie, this is going to be part of that sort of marathon, I guess, if you can call it that. So yeah, I'm going to watch this eventually. This one, it was cool to find, and I look forward to checking out. The next part, just moving stuff around here. So we have, this one's in 4K. We have Warfare. This is one of the few A24 films that has the barcode, their special packaging, that there is a 4K and Blu-ray option, because some is just Blu-ray. This one there were both, so I'm glad I have this. So with A24, every movie, well, the ones with the barcodes now, comes with a box that if you open it up, you get a picture on the back, and if you take the disc out, a picture on the inside as well. Not only that, you also get art cards, which I haven't checked out yet, so I'll check some of these out to show you guys. This is the cooler part, or one of the coolest parts about it. So, yeah, we got, oh, this is cool. So, yeah, we got a picture of the real people this movie is based on, and then we got pictures of some of the actors as well. So, yeah, this is the kind of stuff you get with A24 that you just don't get with your $29.99 4K Warner Brothers copy. You just don't get that. I'm trying to put this back real quick, guys. Okay, so yeah, we got Warfare. This one was a really neat copy to have. I like it a lot. These are the ones I try to collect. When I mentioned pre-ordering A24, these are the ones I really try to prioritize. Then the next one we have Death of a Unicorn. I really love the artwork on this. This almost feels like a, I don't know. Guys can tell me what you think. This feels like a classic pirate movie style poster. So this one's pretty cool. I'll show you guys what's inside this one as well. We got a poster of a unicorn in the movie, and that poster in the movie is this. So it's always pretty cool. You got some art cards as well. I'll take these out to show you guys. Yeah, some of these shots kind of eerie. Yeah, you got a picture of the cats. You got, it's kind of cool with the prop. You got a Paul Rudd with the prop for the unicorn. So yeah, like I said, this kind of stuff is just really cool. It's always pretty neat. I'm gonna move this aside so we can keep going. The last one is Legend of Ochi. This one I saw in theaters too. This one's really cool. This one I really like the sort of the artwork on the front, and I do like the artwork on. This is the one that it was not wanting to come out. This one's pretty cool. You got sort of that iconic moment for the trailer that we see over and over. And then if you take the disc out, the picture on the inside is the island. So I thought this was pretty cool. It's just, this movie just gave me peaceful vibes like the entire time. Everything looked beautiful. Everything looked peaceful. The land in this movie just looked like a place where you'd want to live, you know, minus the killer monkeys. But, you know, besides that. And this one actually has, I think the reason, yeah, this is a lot more art cards than before. So you got a picture from the movie. Oh, and then on the back they're all like postcards. So that's pretty neat. So yeah, I love this kind of stuff. So now I'm going to put this aside. For the last movie that I got, which we got 8 more, this was a classic monster set. So I'm just going to sort of make sure it's angled properly, because I'm going to have to back up to show you guys. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I love the artwork on this. It sort of has multiple classic monsters on the front here. I guess I can zoom in a little bit. And the same thing on the back. This lists all of the movies that are in this. And this is actually, these are limited edition. Out of 5,500, this is 5,027 out of 5,500. So if they ship them all in order, this means that there wasn't a lot left when I purchased this. So I'll show you guys on the inside. We got a table of contents. I'll sort of skim through it. For each movie, it sort of has, it's a book, basically. So you have a lot of information about the movies, and there's pages like this. Some movies have more pages than others, but there is a segment for each and every movie in this set. And then in the end, in the back of the book, you got all the movies, and these are all in 4K as well. So for this price, this is part of Amazon Prime deals. The price, it was a little pricier than your standard 4K copy, but for 8 movies, it's pretty good. And you got all sort of the, almost that comic book style poster as the background for all of these. So this was a very neat set to have. This is why this is featured last in this video. So I guess it's better than the Steelbook, I guess. I really like it. This is something I've been just setting up there, part of where my cool stuff is. So yeah, this was really cool to get. Like I said, I believe it's still a decent price. Maybe not, it may not be the cheapest price point, but it's not bad for 8 4K movies. So that is my haul for July. Thank you guys for watching. I had a lot of fun collecting this stuff. I've had a lot of fun showcasing all of this for the video, and I can't wait for the August haul. So thanks for watching, guys. Thank you guys for watching yet again, and keep it digging.